Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. All right, so today we're going to talk about retirees and taxes. Because you know what? Retirement can be a really tricky thing, okay? And I have my own personal feelings about retirees and taxes anyway, but I'm just gonna keep that part to myself. So let's kind of talk about it, because we have people who retire and go and live their best lives. There are people that retire but still want to run a business or whatever. So what do taxes look like for retirees? So let's talk about so first of all, let's start with Social Security, because that's usually the first question. Now, there's Social Security and there's Social Security and disability. Social Security and disability is a completely different animal. We're just talking about Social Security on this broadcast, okay? So if Social Security is your only income, your Social Security is not taxable. It's just that simple. However, we already know that Social Security really ain't enough to live off of, okay? So we're going to need to have some more money, okay, if we plan to live and eat well into our, retirement age, because you know what? We're living longer, okay? We know how to take better care of ourselves. We're starting to live longer. And so, yeah, we need to have money that lasts, that outlives us, is essentially what we're talking about. So, okay. So now, if you have additional income, then up to 85% of your Social Security will be taxable. That amount will just depend on how much additional income that you have. There's this long drawn out formula. Okay. So that's one of those things. If you really want to know the math on your Social Security, you need to book a consultation for that, because it's a drawn out process. But at maximum, 85% of your Social Security will be taxable. Now, if you have retirement income, retirement accounts, whether it's a 401k or an IRA, you might have a pension. Those things will be taxable. Now, how it will be taxable will depend on what you have. So, like an annuity has so many nuances where, depending on the type of annuity you have, some of it may be taxable, some of it may not be taxable. So there's no one answer for annuities. Now, if you have pension income, like I said, IRAs or 401ks, when you withdraw from those, 9 times out of 10, that income will be taxable. So a good way to think about it is, if you didn't pay taxes on it going in, meaning if you contributed to your income pre-tax to reduce your current taxable income, then it's going to be taxed on the back end when you take it out. Okay. So, and then there's the Roth IRAs. Now that's different from a 401k or a traditional IRA. A Roth IRA has after-tax contributions, and so you've already paid the taxes going in. So when you withdraw from that, it's not taxable. Now, one of the things with retirement accounts, with 401ks and IRAs, there is a required minimum distribution that starts after you turn 70 and a half, where you have to take this money out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, or else you're going to face additional penalties. So you have the required minimum distribution. Roth IRAs don't have that, okay? Roth IRAs don't have a minimum required distribution until the owner of that Roth IRA passes away. So that's the only time. Now, when it comes down to retirement, it's like, let me kind of give you some history, and then you can, again, you go sit down and talk to somebody, because it's all different for everybody. So let's talk about 401ks. Now, when 401ks were created, they were a great idea because our top tax bracket was really high. And so by the time you got to retirement age, 9 times out of 10, you were going to be in a lower tax bracket. So you were contributing pre-tax dollars to your 401k with the plan of being in a lower tax bracket by the time you retired. Because our top tax rate at the time that 401ks were created was about 70%. Okay. So people contributed pre-tax dollars so that they were, already, lowering their current tax rate. And so when they retired, they were going to be in a lower tax bracket to also be able to get taxed at a lower rate. But that kind of shifted once tax rates started dropping. All right. So that when you contributed to a 401k, once you reach retirement age, you could be in a higher tax bracket because tax rates were going down. And once you get to retirement age, 9 times out of 10, you have no deductions, right? There are no itemized deductions because you paid off your house, your kids are grown, they're out of college, all of those deductions are pretty much gone. So now with the 401k, you wind up in a higher tax bracket and you're paying more in taxes on your retirement income. Now, conversely, with a Roth IRA, again, this is after tax. So you pay the taxes up front. And then your withdrawals, your distributions are not taxed. So you might be in a higher tax bracket now. You might be paying those taxes now, but when you withdraw, you don't pay the taxes. So like I said, there's no one right answer for everybody. Right? You really have to go and sit down and talk to financial planners and stuff to really see where you're going in your retirement years. I mean, and I think that's the one thing that we also need to, we have to talk about is saving for retirement, because see, we're on this internet and we see all these folks getting their lives, right? They're spending this money, they're making this money, they're spending this money, and they're not really looking down the road. Listen, saving for retirement is sexy because at some point you are going to want to sit down. You are going to want to, take it easy. Okay. You want to be able to work when you want to work, not work because you have to work in order to eat. That's what our idea of retirement is. Okay. That's what that looks like. But you have to have money in order to do those things. So you think about what you want to do in your retirement age. And do you want to, most folks want to wait and, till they retire, they want to travel the world, get in an RV, go drive all over creation. Hey, whatever that looks like for you, that's what you have to plan for. But you also have to understand that taxes do not go away. And this is where, sometimes our retirees wind up in tax trouble because they have not had this tax conversation. One of my most heart-wrenching moments was sharing with a daughter that her father had an $8,000 tax bill. It broke me to pieces, y'all. Like I had to go somewhere and compose myself, because here was a daughter who was taking care of an elderly father who was in a nursing home, and she took money out of his retirement account in order to pay those bills. But the part she didn't know was that it was taxable. And listen, that 10%, sometimes they withhold 10% of your taxes, of your distribution. But that may not be enough. So what happened in this particular case is that her father had this retirement account, but he also had Social Security. So based on the amount that she took out, all of his Social Security was then taxable. And so she wound up with, creating an $8,000 tax bill for him, where if she had taken money out in increments, it could have completely lessened the blow. But because she did not talk to anybody to find out, hey, how is this going to impact us tax wise, it was an honest mistake, right? But that's a heck of a mistake. It hurt my heart for a 98-year-old man in a nursing home to have an $8,000 tax bill. So just know that taxes do not go away. They just don't. So you really have to have conversations about, what you're going to do in the event that you need long-term medical care. How is that going to be paid for? If you do take money out of retirement accounts, how is that going to impact Social Security? How is that going to impact you tax-wise? How much should you withhold in taxes in order to not create a tax bill? See, those are tax planning things. And if she had invested in that tax planning appointment, it could have saved a lot of heartache on the back end. When I tell y'all that broke my heart, because this lady broke down crying in the office, and I could not take it. I had to compose myself and go somewhere and get myself together. It was bananas. So So when you're talking about retirement, you have to look at what do you plan to do in your retirement years. I think retirement age is what, still 65 right now, or 67 or something like that. You know what? A lot of us, like I said, we're living longer. 67 is not a death sentence. We have, people living well into their 80s and 90s. And so what is your life going to look like in those years? And that's what you have to plan for tax wise. Look at how much money you have saved up, because listen, when you get to retirement, it is too late. You need to be saving for retirement now. I'm even teaching my son, he'll be 16 soon, teaching him about saving for retirement. Now, of course, he looked at me like I had two heads because he's only 16. But I also explained to him that the money that he saves now, between now and when he turns 30, is going to be more valuable than the money that he saves, between 30 and 60. So we had a discussion about compound interest. Okay. So like I said, with retirees, it's really looking at the big picture of what you want to do, how much money you need to have, how much money you want to have. And hey, if you're like, look, I'm going to be working until I step foot in my grave, hey, that's awesome. Just plan on having taxes taken out of your Social Security, so you don't have to worry about that. Or be prepared for the tax bill, right? One of the two. You're either going to have the taxes withheld, or you're going to save for taxes so that you can just write the check on the back end, you guys. Okay? So yeah, that's it when it comes down to retirees. Listen, financial planning, you guys, it is so crucial. Can I say that right now? It is very crucial. Financial planning is crucial because we need to have money to live. I don't care who you are. Okay, we got to have money to live. Whether you've got someone taking care of your money that has to take care of you, you got to have money to live. So financial planning is an absolute must. And it doesn't matter if you have no money right now. This is why you talk to financial planners, because it's their jobs to know how to grow money. And I really need for us to get past this. We got to have it all right now. If you set aside just a little bit of money on a consistent basis, it might be $25 a month. I don't care if it's $10 a month. It's more than what you had. You got to start somewhere. Do not despise small beginnings, because the money that you save up now, it might not be for you. It could be for your child. It could be for your grandchildren. So it's not just, I need to get all my money now. No, you need to start saving some money so that when you do get into your retirement years where you can't work anymore, it's not about will, but what if you just physically can't work anymore? You still got to have money. If you're like, this client that I talked about, you might be in a nursing home. You still got to have money. So, I can't say enough about financial planning. You should totally do it. That's it. You should just totally do it. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish, and you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.